So this video could be called AI, Twitter, and Heidegger. And that would be a catchy title, but actually it's about something deeper. Well, can you be deeper than Heidegger? I don't know. But basically it's about how we all have this tension going on about not knowing what AI does to us. It totally polarizes the world. There's people being totally agnostic of AI. Fine. There's people like me being more enthusiastic about it and, I don't know, promoting it and promoting ways to work with it. And it creates a lot of tension and it creates a lot of fear and, all of that is pretty human. And in this video, I want to explain a little bit about what's going on, what I think, and offer a way to kind of make it more communal thing, a thing that can help us together to kind of go through it and have empathy for each other. So it starts with this tweet. And yes, I'm still on Twitter and people might hate that and everything, but it starts with this. And basically what the tweet does, it reads like this. The vibes in San Francisco feel pretty frenetic right now. The divide in outcome is the worst I've ever seen. And it goes on like this. And the situation it describes is around 10K people working at the AI labs are hitting retirement wealth in probably 5 years. Everyone else, except for them, is basically feeling permanently locked out. Layoffs are hitting them. There's talk about the permanent underclass. There's talk about a founder who doesn't want to sell his company because then he only has money but no relevance anymore. And the feed is split instantly in the Twitter thread between two groups. And one side says, it's absurd to talk about these champagne problems, about these insane luxury problems of these people. And the other people are saying, the other camp says like, yeah, but to them it's real, it's existential. And what we're talking about is really like, people, I don't know, for European standards, insanity, earning 500K roughly, or the millions, whatever. So the thing is, and you see it here happening, both camps did the same thing. They immediately reached for a verdict. Idiots. No, not idiots. Our mind screams for that evaluation. And exactly that reflex is the trap. And this whole thing that I'm talking about now is about getting rid of that reflex. Now, there was another cool tweet, which is that one. And that was the best response in the whole thread. And he brought up the concept of Heidegger's thrownness, Geworfenheit, which means basically you don't choose your starting conditions. And that's exactly what's happening to us all of the time right now. So let's first dig into Geworfenheit, thrownness. So that comes from Being and Time, written in 1927. And basically it says you're delivered, thrown into a world, into a language, into a moment that you didn't pick. It's just facticity. It's just happening. It's not failure. It is what is. And the thrownness is not fatalism, but it actually has a twin, which is active, which is called Entwurf, projection. So your options by being thrown are that you actually throw yourselves into the options that are given to you. You use them. You own them. And the comparison torment has, and that's what's happening, like being thrown, what a natural reaction is that we compare ourselves to these other people. Like, why wasn't that door to that AI lab open to me? What did I do wrong? Am I a loser? Why am I kicked out of my job? Or is this the other? And we see it as something very individual, how we deal with the options we're having and, all that stuff. But that comparison actually has a name. It's measuring myself with man. In Germany, that is like an anonymous it, a person. But that comparison is not inside. It's just like being in the herd. And what's coming out of it, if you compare yourselves to that anonymous, non-individual thing, then it's happening. It's Angst. And that's what we're seeing. It is the mood that discloses that thrownness, the existential thing that's happening to us. Just like birth, just like, all these liminal states, like when you get out of school, you don't know what's going to happen. Everything is insecure. You have kind of some have joy for it. Some are like desperate, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? None of that is right or wrong. It is a natural reaction. It is a reaction to being thrown in these liminal states. And what's happening right now is we are collectively going through such a liminal state. So the answer that Heidegger gives to that is authenticity, which isn't escaping thrownness. We can't. Like, we will always be thrown again into a new liminal state where we don't know what's going on. It's unsafe, unsecure. And it's not about fighting. It's about owning it. It's the trading the am I gonna make it with what do I actually gonna do from here? And now the structural turn, like this was on the individual level. What's happening is, let's zoom out. San Francisco isn't special, and the Bay Area isn't special with these circumstances. They're just early, like they're the canaries in the coal mine. But globally, we're all experiencing it already. So AI basically is currently exporting that San Francisco condition to all of us. And that's what we're seeing, like everybody's afraid or experiencing of layoffs, real-time comparison, my skill set being revalued overnight, the Kent Beck thing where he says 3 years ago already that 90% of his skills have now a value of 0, but 10% have increased by the 1,000 in values. Or as Simon Willison says, that deep blue sorrow about the skills that don't matter anymore. And some might not believe it that that's happening, but they're still afraid, whatever. So AI didn't make life more contingent, and contingency was always told, but AI made it impossible to ignore its surfaces that throw at scale at public as a global thing, actually. Now, the early AI lab, he was thrown. The hollowed out middle manager, he was thrown. The Luddites that I mentioned last week were thrown. But the thing I said about the Luddites who basically destroyed the machines that threatened them, my only point I was making is, it didn't help them. It didn't stop the machines. That's my point about AI. Like, we can try to stop the tech. It won't stop. Innovation will thrive. It will spread. Tenure, intelligence, hard work, loosely correlated with outcomes. The important word in that sentence is loosely. Like, in the transformation that we are facing right now, the throw explains the variance that is happening to us, not the merit that we brought. Like, Boris Cherny, super bright guy. He's working at those labs. A couple of months ago, some people earned a ton of money when prompt masters were still a thing and stuff. Like, it's gone again, and stuff will happen. And we try to identify all of that with merit, like what a great genius these people are. It's not. Like, there's a million components and thrownness in the game. And in a transformation like this, the thrownness is the explanation. And that's not cynical. It's just an observation again. Let me be precise. Authenticity, like being yourself, that is not a doctrine of accepting your fate. And it's not a badge you should wear, like, I'm authentic or anything. There's one authentic move right now in this condition being thrown. And none of us chose the year that AI came to us. We experience this, what we're experiencing. The thing really is, the one move is own your throw and don't own someone's verdict on it. Not even your own. No verdicts. No judgments. Throws are happening. They give you options. The only thing you can do by owning the throw is, what are you going to do with the options? Do you lean in? Do you ignore them? And, I don't have a judgment on that either. Like, go as far as you want. Stay out of it as much as you want. Know what you want from the situation. That's the whole point. Which also brings me to, like, there's no reason in blaming other people for being all in AI or the opposite. Like, it makes no sense. It is how these people own their throws for whatever their vision of their life is, the fears they have and all that stuff. So basically, what did I say? We're all thrown into that AI thing. Nobody chose it. The options were never in our hands. The only thing, the freedom that we have, the authenticity that we have is we can choose what we do with those options. And that is not resignation. It is the authentic position that we have on that. And the one that lets you do good work while everybody's still grading that throw and, trying to judge it and, going in all these narratives of is it human or not and all that stuff. None of that really helps. I don't want to come across as dumb, but accept that we're thrown. We didn't have a choice. And now that we're thrown into it, make the best of it given your life choices. Like, that's the whole point. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I hope this helped a little. Oh, and if so, or if you're angry about me with that, like, leave some comments down there. I'm totally interested in how you see the whole situation around it. And, if I'm cynical or not, I don't, it's hard to know how this comes across. Thanks.